a condiment company based in Brooklyn, New York. I also have a chili pepper farm in upstate New York, and I'm a certified pepper nerd. In this class, you'll make some unique and spicy hot sauce. I'm Laena McCarthy, and I'm the CEO and founder of Anarchy in a Jar, which is a condiment and hot sauce company based in Brooklyn, New York. And I'm here today to make hot sauce with you. Super excited. You all got your kits, and in your kits, you got a bunch of fun stuff. So I'm going to start today's class by giving you a little tour of your kit, talking about what we're going to do today, and how the class is going to work. We're going to prep our ingredients. Next, we're going to poach them. We're going to cook them, get them all juicy and sweet. And then step 3, we're going to blend them up. So you're going to need a little bit of equipment today. What you're going to need, first, you're going to need a knife. So here I have my favorite little veggie paring knife, a nice size for me. I like it. I can control it. But of course, you can use any knife you're comfortable with. So a big old fat chef's knife, a tiny little paring knife, whatever any of those knives are going to work for you. We're just going to chop up our veggies. This is not a Top Chef competition today, so you don't need to worry about perfect knife skills, anything like that. So any knife you're comfy with. Next, we're going to grab you need some sort of cutting board, so something to chop up our veggies on. Here I just have my classical wooden cutting board we're going to use today. And then you're going to need a pot. So you're going to need something to cook your hot sauce in. And we're going to use, today I'm just using this really simple little stainless steel pot. Stainless steel is ideal because it isn't reactive with acid. So any old sauce pot that you have is going to work fine for this. It's a small batch we're doing today, so you don't need some big old pot. This pot's going to work perfect for what we need to do today. You also need a lid for it. So a lid's going to be important to keep all that chili pepper steam from filling up your home. You're also going to want something to protect your hands. So I'm using some black gloves today. These are just disposable gloves, the kind you probably maybe have lying around your home, but you can use dish gloves as well. That's fine. You can use a little piece of paper towel, anything to block and protect your fingers from getting some chili pepper oils on them. So you can even in a pinch use the little baggie that your chili peppers came in. You can just put your little hand in that, use that to protect them. The chili peppers don't actually, their oils aren't released until we cut them open. So when we start chopping, that's when those chili peppers, you want to keep your hands as safe as possible, especially if you wear contacts. And then the last thing you're going to need is something to blend up our hot sauce. So today I'm going to use like a really, really simple immersion blender. But you can use a regular blender. You can use a Vitamix. You can use a food processor, anything that you can smush your hot sauce up. In a pinch, you can totally make what I call rustic camping OG style hot sauce, where you smush it up by hand, use a nice wooden spoon. That's going to be a chunkier style of hot sauce if you don't use a machine to blend it up in that third step. So feel free to grab your stuff, pause the video, go grab your equipment, and then we're going to get started.
Hey everyone. All right, here's our peppers. Beautiful peppers that we got. You can use different ones if you don't want to use the ones in the kit. So anything from Scotch bonnets to cayennes. And then there's an apple. And then we also have some beautiful garlic. Yes. 4 cloves, but you could use more if you want. And don't forget your apple. The apple, you can totally leave the skin on. There's your garlic. And then we also have some other ingredients. We've got some salt, pink Himalayan salt. And then we have some vinegar. This is a raw apple cider vinegar. But of course, if you're doing this again, you can use a different kind if you want. Again, all options are on the table. And don't forget, when choosing your peppers and your apples, just use the freshest ingredients that you can find. It's really important to use ones that are fresh, not too rotten. The skin looks good. There's not any weird spots on them. And of course, once we get to prepping in a minute, you'll see all the different ways in which we're going to kind of prep these or remove the different parts to them. You can also see just how incredibly lovely these peppers look. Look at that baby. Oh my goodness. Beautiful, beautiful skin all around. And that skin is in there. So the whole part of the pepper is used in the ingredients. And again, really looking and making sure that your fruit is mostly blemish free. It's okay if there's bruises here or there, but in general, you want to make sure that you're using just, again, high quality ingredients. You can take the salt and just pour it directly from the pack that you have. I put it here in a little cup, but again, it's up to you. And again, we're going to use almost an entire bottle of vinegar, and that's the final step. So that's going to be at the very end when we're blending things up. So let's get going with our prep. All right, chop up these peppers. Do it, do it, do it. So here we're in fast motion, but you want to chop up those peppers, take your time, pause the video if I'm going too fast for you. This is just to speed it up so you can, again, pause it at any time. You want to crush the garlic, so take the side of your knife, whack it, and you don't need to chop these up at all. You're just removing the skins. That's all you want to do here, removing the skins. And then with the apple, you're just going to chop it up really roughly in 1-inch size pieces. And that's it. Voila! All right, everything's chopped, so time to put it in our pot. So grab your little stainless steel pot and plop those peppers, apple, and garlic in there. And then you want to add a 1/4 cup of water to it, just plain old tap water. And then you want to also add your salt. So put your salt in there. And then you want to use any kind of heat. I'm using an induction burner here, but then you want to cover it up. So I'm putting a silicone lid on. I think those are really nice and tight, but any old lid will do. And then you want to put it on high heat. So you want to start this off on high heat until it comes to a boil. When it comes to a boil, you want to turn it down to medium low. And then you want to keep it covered. We're going to poach this baby. So keep it on medium low heat for 8 minutes. So start your timer once you lower that heat after it's come to a boil, 8 minutes, and that should make it nice and soft. Okay, so now we've cooked our peppers. Take a little look. You can see mine are nice and soft. All my peppers and apples and garlic. The garlic should be nice and soft. You can touch it and just see that it kind of, gets really nice and soft when you touch it. Everything should just be nicely softened. That's when all the sugars come out and it tastes really sweet and delicious. So now it's time to pour in our apple cider vinegar. If you're doing this in a blender, you can dump everything into a blender. If you're doing it with a stick immersion blender, you can just do it right in the pot like I'm going to do right here. And so now we're ready to start blending. So at this point, we've got all our ingredients. So every single ingredient should be in here. Our vinegar, our salt, our peppers, our apple, our garlic, all the beautiful things are in there. A little bit of water, right, that we poached it in. And we can add a little more water if we feel when we're done. So once you've blended it up, give it a taste. If you want it a little bit thinner, we have a nice leeway here where there's a little more vinegar than water in it, so that'll work fine.
All right, we're ready to blend. My blender is plugged in, ready to go. If you're using a stick blender, just be careful when you first put it in there. Don't shoot your hot sauce all over. I like to start mine kind of on a low setting to begin with, and then turn it up as we go. Usually depends on what yours is like. Mine is just has a little power button, and I keep that on. If you're using a regular blender, you want to blend it for about 20 seconds is usually great. For a stick blender, it's usually a little bit longer. So it's usually going to be, around 30, maybe 40 seconds or so. And this is up to you. So how chunky it is, the different textures, that is totally preference. You can have yours be very, very smooth. You can have it be a little bit chunky. It's totally depending on how you want that to look, how you want your finished product to be. And I kind of like usually making mine a little chunkier as I'm going along. Only because, that's just how I like it to look. All right, everyone, we've blended up our hot sauce, and now it is time to fill our bottles. So grab your bottles if you haven't already. You'll notice in the inside, they've got these little stoppers. And those are really just if your hot sauce is super liquidy and you want to make a super blended one. So folks who blended yours for 60 seconds or longer or made it really, really smooth, this might work great for you, right? It's more like a Tabasco where it really needs control. But for those who made a thicker hot sauce, you might want to just take it right off. Those aren't necessary. Either way, you have to take it off to fill your bottle. So I like using a funnel because I'm klutzy and I need a funnel like to not spill it everywhere. But of course, you can pour it into like a measuring cup and just straight pour it in the bottle if you're skilled or you want to try or you don't have a funnel. Either way, I find it a little bit easier using a funnel. And then you're just going to pour it straight in. So you'll see it's cool if you spill a little bit. And we're just going to keep filling, pouring, filling. And you're going to have enough here for, hopefully, unless you spilled some, you'll have enough for 2 bottles. All right. Woo. Okay. We filled our hot sauce. I'm going to put the lid on it. Final step. If there's any gunk on the top or it's a little bit dirty, you can just wipe it down. And now we've got our beautiful bottle of hot sauce here. This hot sauce will last for at least 6 months in your fridge. You want to refrigerate it though. So put it in the fridge. Once it's cool, let it cool off a minute. Once it's cool, put it in your fridge. Again, at least 6 months, probably longer. This hot sauce has a nice dose of vinegar in it. So make sure, one extra step, taste it. Don't forget to taste it. So taste your hot sauce, grab your tortilla chips, give it a little taste. If you want it to be, say, a little bit saltier, you can certainly add a little more salt. If you want to amend it, if it's too spicy for you, you can add a little something else. So a great example would be you could put in, a tablespoon of fresh mango. Frozen is fine too. You could put in another tablespoon of chopped up apple. You could put in a tablespoon of fresh raspberries or pineapple. All those fruits taste great in hot sauce, and they'll make it less spicy and they'll make it a little thicker too. So that's just a fun little amendment you can play with. And if you want it spicier, well, then you're going to have to add more spicy chilies to it. So you could certainly do that if you wanted to. You could go ahead and grab some Scotch bonnets or some habaneros and cook them up and throw them into your hot sauce. So those are fun amendments to make. I always encourage, make more on your own. Play around with it. Come up with your own flavors. Thank you so much for joining me today, for playing with me and making hot sauce. Look, you did it. You made your own jar of hot sauce. So these are great Christmas gifts, really good to give out to friends, great to bring to your barbecue. You can make a big old batch, get many of our kids, make a bunch. Really, really fun to do. So I encourage you to keep playing. You can find more classes. I teach a bunch more classes, and there's many more on teamclass.com. A super fun place to kind of explore, learn, and just have fun, especially as a group or, again, solo with these videos. So thank you so much. You've been awesome. Good luck. Enjoy your hot sauce. Go get some tacos, some tortillas. I love this hot sauce on eggs. It's one of my favorite ways to eat it for breakfast in the morning. So enjoy, find some cool recipes that you can cook with it, and have an awesome day. Thank you so much.